Hi everyone, I'm here with Oskari Hakkinen from Remedy Games, and we're talking about their new title, Alan Wake's American Nightmare. Oskari, thank you very much for joining us here in the studio.
Thank you. It's awesome to be here. You guys have got a new studio, I see.
Yeah, it's a bit weird actually. It was built on an old pet cemetery and a deconsecrated church. Also, a bunch of murders happened here like this morning. But it was super cheap, so...
Okay, you do what you can with the budgets you got, right?
Absolutely. So, Alan Wake's American Nightmare, it's a follow-up to Alan Wake, but it isn't. It's not a true sequel. Is that right?
Yeah, that's about accurate. So it's a standalone spin-off experience, which means that anyone can pick up and play, even if they've never played Alan Wake before. But of course, you know, the fans out there want to see the story go forward and an expansion to the universe, and it does that as well. So there's a huge amount of this optional story content in the form of manuscript pages, more dialogue with the NPCs, the radio shows, the TV shows, and so forth, that does take the fiction forward and connects the dots back to the first game.
Cool. So, I mean, what is the kind of the story and the setting? Because, I mean, the end of Alan Wake 1, no spoilers, but it was kind of, there was a very definitive kind of point that the story had reached. So.
Right. So, well, the backstory goes that early on in Wake's career, he had written several episodes of this show, Night Springs. Now, if you remember the fictional TV show from the first game, Night Springs, and it had this Twilight Zone feel to it, well, now you are playing an episode of Night Springs, and it's written by Alan Wake himself. So he's learned a lot since we saw him last. He's learned to use fiction to his advantage. And we have a new story puzzle in the game as well, which is called Rewriting Reality. And Alan Wake's going to need that to defeat his evil double, Mr. Scratch. And it's a lot easier to just pick up and play. And our influences are also different. So it has much more of a grindhouse feel to it. We're taking influence from B-movie classics, classic Americana, Route 66. It's a lot more Quentin Tarantino from Dusk Till Dawn, and there's a more focus on action as well.
So what is it about those movies and that kind of setting that appeals to you guys?
Well, just popular culture in general appeal to Remedy. I mean, we don't take inspiration. We play a lot of video games, but we don't take inspiration for our games from other video games. And we've been quite open about it, that we take our inspiration from popular culture. So it's all about, you know, movies, TV, books, graphic novels that we tend to get inspired by, we borrow from, if you like, and then we create it as our own, and it becomes our own entertainment entity, and hopefully we then, with the things that we create, contribute back into that pool, and maybe some people get inspired by the stuff that we make.
Cool. So a couple of the guys in the studio were asking... Sorry about this, it keeps doing this. I've just got to go and flick the fuse box.
All right, no worries.
Torch for you.
Thank you.
I'll be right back, honestly.
All right, thanks. What the hell? Andy, did you see that?
No, I didn't. So, sorry about that. I shouldn't bother us again. Anyway, so this new combat-oriented focus that you've got for the game has that changed the gameplay a lot? I mean, there was combat in the first game, but I mean, obviously it wasn't the focus.
Yeah, no, there is definitely more of a focus for action and combat in Alan Wake's American Nightmare. You know, we think that when we say that it's made for the medium, I think that, you know, people want this kind of pick up and play experience and just jump right into the fun. So we have more of a focus on the action. If you kind of look at Alan Wake, I guess it was kind of 2/3 story and 1/3 action, and here it's a bit of a flip, so more of a focus on the action, and we're introducing, of course, crazy new enemies and crazy new weapons to accommodate that.
Cool, so you mentioned new weapons and new taken or new enemies. Can I give us an example of
Elaborate on that a little bit.
Weapons and
okay, so yeah, on the enemy side, Splitter, he's goes on everything that we've taught you before. We taught you use your flashlight, burn the dark presence away, and then use a conventional weapon. If you use your flashlight on the Splitter, he'll duplicate. if you use your flashlight again, he'll duplicate again. And he will gradually become weaker, but there is strength in numbers, and he will try and flock around you and attack. The Birdman, you use your weapon, you use a flashlight on him, and he'll dissipate into a flock of birds. He'll fly up in the sky, and he'll look for a perfect entry point to again attack you from a spot, from your blind spot, if you like. Grenadier, you know, in Alan Wake, all of the enemies would attack you. Now the Grenadier is again offering variation. He doesn't attack you in the traditional form. He keeps his distance from you and keeps running away, chucking grenades at you and trying to, you know, damage your health, pull your health down. So you have to run after him, hunt him down and kill him. Then we have this guy, this huge guy with a circular saw that's just ridiculously powerful, and it's a circular saw made for cutting asphalt. Right. You don't want to get hit by that.
Make short work of Alan.
Yeah, exactly. On the weapon side, the nail gun, one of my favorites. The nails actually stick into the enemies, which is cool. It's, you know, for everyone that gets their hands on it, on American Nightmare, try and get a nail stuck right between the forehead. It's fun. Then the crossbow, again, offering more variation. You don't need to use a flashlight or a light source at all with a crossbow. It can pierce the darkness without light. Sounds like a super weapon, but it's not, because it takes a long while to reload.
Great. And you've got this Fight Till Dawn mode
Yes.
in there. So that's pure combat, right? That's just a combat experience.
That's kind of our horde mode, if you like, and it's called Fight Till Dawn. And as the name is called, the idea is to survive till dawn until sunrise. That takes about 10 minutes. And with that, we have online leaderboards and scoreboards, and we want to find out who is the real champion of light. And once you've beaten, there's 5 different maps there, and once you've beaten them all, you unlock Nightmare mode on those, which is ridiculously hard. But it's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's heart pounding. Put it that way.
Excellent. Finally, is there anything else you'd like to add for fans of the series who are waiting for American Nightmare?
Yeah, I think, you know, music was something that was really liked in Alan Wake, and we brought that back here to Alan Wake's American Nightmare. We wanted to keep the production values really high. So, you know, we've done a custom cinematic score for Alan Wake's American Nightmare. We've done custom songs again, like we did in Alan Wake. A new single from the Old Gods of Asgard, and we've got licensed songs in there as well. So some of them haven't been announced, but one that has is Clubfoot by Kasabian. So we've got some cool stuff there, and this is, yeah, it's an episode of Night Springs. Go out and give it a go.
Great. Oscari, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Andy.
Oh, hi, Ascari. What are you doing here? You're not due for another hour at least.
What do you mean? Just finish up the interview with Andy.
What? Ascari, but that's impossible. Andy died 2 years ago this very night.